Welcome back, Nemesis Gaming League. As we are back with our second matchup of the night, we are sticking to the Prospect League. As mentioned, we got Velocity taking on the Melons. I am hosted in the booth tonight with Mr. Chunklight. How are you doing tonight?
Pretty good, pretty good. Exciting first game. I think we're gonna get something similar for this game.
I really think we are going to get something similar as well, especially because obviously these teams probably were keeping a little bit of an eye on the stream, even though they should have been warming up because whoever wins this one, they're going to go play the winner of that game that we just saw, which was the Blackhawks, did take down the one-seeded Origin in a pretty handily fashion. Origin's defense was rocking. We saw Melon's defense rocking the other night in their quarterfinal matchup. Velocity made a roster move midway through their series, and they started rocking. So these three teams left. Blackhawks, Velocity, Melons are all very scary, and either one of the way this can go tonight, it's going to be a very, very powerful grand finals in the Prospect League.
Yeah, 100%. Like you said, Velocity has four players they can use. So if you're at Melons going into this, you don't know who to expect. But pretty sure for them that will not be an issue, as they looked phenomenal when we saw them last on stream as they beat Vipers. I'd say pretty handily in a 4-1. Didn't make a whole lot of mistakes to get punished, and I think if they play like that tonight, I think they get the bid to the championship.
Yeah, like we said, I think Melons, they looked. I know a lot of people have talked about it. Vipers, they weren't on top of their game by any means. It was really kind of unfortunate to see, but the way the Melons were playing, it was unreal. I don't think I've seen the Melons squad look that good even since they acquired this roster. Partly because Gallium was out on vacation for a little bit. I think they were still trying to figure out their third between Tragic and Postman, and they finally settled on it. They got some extra games in, and you can really tell they looked amazing. Velocity definitely has a tough task, but Velocity also did take down my Rooks team, and coming into that matchup against them, we were arguably the hottest team in Prospect, coming on 11 match win streak. So they were able to battle through that one. It does look like Velocity is going to start with their roster that they switched to against us, and that's going to be Breaking Coin, Velocity, and KSU. And on the side of the Melons, we talked about it briefly, is Tragic, Tehmill, and Gallium. We are underway, 30 seconds in, just a little bit of back and forth action. Tragic is going to put this one on. Kind of soft, didn't have a lot of boost, but not a great save coming out Velocity, but they are going to clear this one. And now once this ball is cleared here, Junk, I do want to get, a little bit of a late prediction coming from you in this one.
Just the way these teams looked, we saw totally different things as KSU just rolls one all the way from like his own side off of 50 and just goes in. The Melon sent everything, so. But like I said, I don't want this to skew my prediction, but I think that Velocity looked phenomenal with the Volksity coming in, or however you say his name, I'm not sure, but he looked really good, so I think Velocity take them down 4-3.
All right, a nice little game 7 prediction. I think I'm going to have to go. I know that was a little untelling from the Melons, but I think the Melons are going to get this semi-final matchup nerves out of the way. Gallium's going to, really propel his team. He's been known to give some great pep talks, put some motivation into people. So even if this game 1 doesn't go in their favor, I think Melons are going to end up taking this one in 6 is my prediction here. But Tragic, he's going to go up with this one. Doesn't quite get the flip reset or the second touch he was looking for. Gallium's going to come save the day with a nice 50, sending this one off to the side. Whiffs coming out from both teams now, but Tragic, plenty of boost. Doesn't get the greatest pop. Gonna send it back down. Gallium is up, though. He's gonna put this one on, and Gallium is gonna tie this up, and he's gonna put Melons on the board and, really give them a little momentum back after they let up that, really silly goal early.
Yeah, I like that play from Tragic there. He goes down and lets his teammate have the ball. Really faked out Hulk City going into that play, and he also gets a bump on last man, and he just freed it up completely for Gallium to score that.
Gallium is a scorer. It's in his blood. Can he be a savior? No. That one is going to have a beautiful bounce down. He isn't quite able to read that one. And Velocity, they're going to take the lead back here.
Yeah, a very quick counterattack. They got the best throw I've seen in a while down that the side of the wall, and KSU has been really quick to capitalize on these passes that have been given to him, or 50s.
Yeah, KSU, again, he's kind of like Gallium. He's a scorer. He's not going to miss many opportunities given to him as he puts that one in and gives his Velocity team the 1-goal lead again. And for those of you at home, I see a couple people talking about it. Velocity is Savage. He did put in a name change. So if you guys are wondering, that is Savage on the sheet. I don't think it's quite been updated yet, as Tragic is looking for a dribble. It's going to get sent away, but to Tehmill with full boost. He goes up, does get the double tap middle, but no one's there to get that touch. Gallium, 50 this one off the backboard, but we see there, Tragic, not enough boost, so he had to rotate out. But Melons all the way back, all three of them with plenty of boost, but Gallium's going to have to make something here as Velocity is raining down on them. That one's going to get sent away by Tragic. Another 50, and Gallium's just been a 50 king in this game so far. I don't think he's lost a 50 yet, Chunk.
There are really good 50s coming out from both teams. We've seen some really good team plays so far. I think the team that will win this will be the team that comes up with the better team plays. I know both these teams are very team oriented. They're very familiar with each other, and I think the better you can play with your teammates, the more likely you are to win this series.
I would have to agree with that, Trunk, as Prospect is all about, the team plays. Yes, we have some mechanical demons, but those are so far and few between in this Prospect League, where you really got to rely on those team plays. As Tragic's trying to make a team play happen, he gets a great pinch in a pass middle, but Gallium's not able to quite read that one. Tehmill gets it back in the middle, does pick up a bump. Tragic coming in, trying to get that 50. It's going to leave it for Gallium, but he's not able to get a great touch. Finds his way back over, and we are seeing the Melons now whiff a couple times, just trying to act quick on the ball instead of taking their time. We're seeing a little panic come out from them being down 1 goal here.
Yeah, 100%. Sometimes you want to play very quick, but sometimes you shouldn't play quick, because it may force a lot of misses, a lot of missed touches as well. Even if you do hit the ball, can really end up like affecting your team and getting you scored on again, getting you punished on a mistake. So I'm interested to see if they try to slow down their pace here and just make sure they get solid contact on the ball,
as they're going to need some solid contact. A great play to come out as there's 20 seconds left in this game. Number 1, Velocity still up. This ball's off the backboard. Velocity's a little awkward, but KSU does get the great 50 in the clear out. Now Velocity is going to send this one further down to the Melons corner, but that one's now going to send back down into Velocity. KSU collecting it with full boost, sends it up. This one is up off the ground, and this one is going to drop, and Velocity is going to take game number 1. The Melons were unable to keep that one up and come with a 0-second goal.
Yeah, that was a a very close game, all things considered. The big difference maker in the goal was, I believe, that just that 50 where Melons were overcommitted, and it was a pretty balanced game. Other than that, KSU really led this Velocity team to the game 1 victory, and I'd like to see the team plays come from this Melons team, as no, no really solid passes as we saw from him. We saw that tragic bump play, which was really good, but other than that, we didn't see a whole lot of chemistry between them.
No, we didn't. We saw, very shaky, awkward attempts coming out from the Melons. I do think they'll be able to fight through that one, and they'll start clicking. They've played with each other for a while now. Stream nerves, it's semifinal nerves, right? I know they did play on stream in the quarterfinals, as did Velocity, but Sometimes they didn't really have the nerves there in the quarterfinals. So maybe they're starting to come out now as we're getting to further into this playoffs and in the postseason. As this kickoff's going to get put back in the middle, a nice 50 coming out from Tehmill and Breaking Coin. As a demo is going to come out, another whiff from both teams. It's going to leave it for Tehmill though. He's going to try to throw that one on, and it's not going to have any kind of power, and that one's easily saved away as we're seeing both teams in the first 20 seconds trade multiple demos.
Yeah, that might be a switch up of game plan from both these teams. We saw a lot of them in the first as one rattles off the crossbar there. We saw a lot of little bumps and demos last game, but I feel like Melons are trying to focus more on that as that really helped them get the one goal they secured last game.
It was a huge factor in that, and we did see them be a little aggressive as Tehmill's trying to go for the solo play. Does get a little help coming out from Gallium, but he wasn't able to get a touch either. But now Velocity collects it in their corner. Breaking Coin trying to pass one out middle, but Tehmill's going to get that read. Unfortunate for Tehmill. Breaking Coin following through, was able to get another dunk of his own, but Tragic with a little bit of fake does pass that one middle. Gallium is there, and he is going to find the back of the net, and he's going to give Melons the first goal here in game number 2.
Yeah, really good patience by Tragic there, and also good patience from Gallium. You realize he has all the time in the world and just sneaks it in at the last second to really, really capitalize on the team plays we were talking about, speed. And I feel like if they want to win this game, a pivotal game in the series, they need to focus on that.
Yeah, and I think it really does come from Tragic. Tragic was kind of in the middle of everything in their series against the Vipers. I think he had probably close to 75-80% goal participation for them in that series. And, it was great to see him get active there. Beautiful pass to Gallium as, they're trying to hold on to this lead, not let Velocity storm back, but Velexity's going to send that one to the corner. Gallium gets a great touch. Is anyone back for the Velocity? No, they weren't. But that one's going to be sent wide by Tragic, trying to, give a little extra momentum on that shot. I think that was going to find its way in, Chunk.
Yeah, I thought it was 2-speed as I think we might be seeing a lack of team play there on that that long thing, the long shot attempt by Gallium, the power clear, if you will. But I'm gonna be interested to see if that kind of disrupts this Melons mental. I would say Melons probably have one of the best mentals here in the Prospect League.
I would 100% agree with that one, Trunk. As like I kind of mentioned earlier, Gallium is just one of those players, one of those people that just knows how to lift you up and really keep your mental. He just constantly talking, reassuring you that even if you make a bad play, that you can do better next time. As an attempt going to come out from Gallium, he's going to push that one wide, looks for the demo, unable to get it. KSU still on the wall, on the ball, not a lot of boost to work with. Just going to give that one away to Tehmill, and Tehmill is going to try to clear that one downfield. Not quite successful as Velocity's keeping this one in the Melons defensive third, but a great clear is finally going to come out. Tehmill, no boost, gets the corner boost, does get it past another one. That one is floating middle, double commit, does come out. Tragic's back with no boost. KSU's on the ball. He's going to send that one wide, and the Melons are going to survive that counter attack initially, as now they're countering here. One back, Breaking Coin. Tragic's going to flick that one right into Breaking Coin, sitting in net as we're a minute and a half left, and both teams are now trading beautiful shots. And honestly, both teams are looking great offensively and defensively right now.
Yeah, 100%. I've seen KSU get a lot more physical. He's not had a lot of boosts, but he's managed to find demos. They haven't been really impactful, though, as to open up an opportunity for his teammates here, Speed. Maybe find some demos, like, with your team to help, like, blow up a play and really get you back into this game, as it's still a one-goal game.
It is one-goal game, but Velocity with not a lot of boost. A little bit awkward play there, as both of them not having a lot of boost. Breaking Coin does send it to the corner, but they both elect to try to turn on the ball, leaving Gallium to slot that one in and give them a 2-goal lead pretty late here.
Yeah, if you're Melons, you're definitely looking to Gallium to lead this team, both, like you said, both with that mental and with that gameplay. We know how good Gallium can be.
Gallium is easily a top 5 prospect resident here as he's looking to score another one, but that one's going to be sent away. Now this one's up off the backboard. Can Breakingcoin get to it? He does. It's going to send this one down, but another poor touch from Velocity in their defensive third. And a beautiful touch coming out from Tehmill, but Tragic unable to read that one. Now just trying to play it safe, waste a little more time here. The more time taken away from Velocity on the ball is more time that they have to protect this 2-goal lead. Now we're in the final 20 seconds. A great 50 coming out from KSU, again with a little boost, but Tragic beats it past one. Can he get it past another? No. This one's up off the backboard. Can they find the angle? Not quite. Gets dunked out by KSU. They kind of needed that one there. As now Tragic with a big clear here is definitely going to seal this game number 2, and the Melons have tied the series at 1 apiece.
Yeah, the Melons look completely different in that second game. Not a lot of mistakes they made defensively that really led up to any opportunities here for this Velocity team that only had 5 shots during that game. And they were pretty much on their own half, making not the best touches as like third man, like you were talking about late in that game. So if you're Velocity, you definitely want to break out of your own half and not allow them to really just bang the ball away, as Gallium's 50s have been incredible so far.
Gallium 50s have been huge. I think the biggest thing I noticed, the difference between game 1 and game 2 was the shots. Velocity had outshot the Melons in the first game 6-5, but in that second game, the Melons outshot Velocity 9-5. So the big difference is Melons getting more pressure, putting more shots on, and putting more quality of shots on, really forcing Velocity to struggle in their defensive third, as another shot attempt early comes out from Gallium, but that one's going to be sent away instantly by KSU. Gallium keeps this one, puts it in the middle. KSU with not a little boost is just going to clear this one down to a Tehmill with full boost. Another 50 coming out as Breakingcoin's going to keep this one in. Can he get one more? No. Tehmill's going to get it. Get a nice clear. Can he get the dunk? Doesn't quite get the dunk, but he does get the bump, leaving plenty of space for Tragic. Sends it up to Tehmill off the backboard, but Gallium playing smart, doesn't want to force that one. It is still a 0 game here, and you don't want to give up that counterattack early. I really love that smart heads up by Gallium.
Yeah, 100% Gallium, a very smart player. In the playoffs, you look for players not to focus on those stats, but more to focus on winning these games. They are crucial in the series, and if you do want to get stats, you got to earn them by actually playing for the team. In the playoffs, it doesn't matter how good you are as a solo player, you've got to play with your team.
Yeah, as we see an attempt of a solo play, but looking for the pass instead of just passing it hard across the middle there to a teammate who was pretty wide open. He elected to try to go for the air dribble pass, which, you know, sometimes it works, but when you have all 3 defenders sitting back behind that ball, it's really hard to accomplish here, as they're gonna team pinch in their own third here. Not sure what was going on there from the side of the Melons. Kind of awkward as Gallium now does get a good touch. Tragic unable to get that 50, but Tehmill is going to get the small touch as well. But Velocity's now really threatening here. They have some good offensive pressure. They just picked up another demo, and they're really starting to get this Melons team awkward in their defensive third.
Yeah, this is the the pressure you want if you're the Velocity team here. As this is what we didn't see a lot of last game, as they didn't get a lot of pressure, not a lot of shots, not a lot of goals. And if you're them, you want to have this pressure, keep the demos up to kind of clear the field. And I saw they were kind of low on boost during their attacks. Maybe find a little bit more boost just to make your attacks more threatening.
And I'm loving this passing plays that are coming out from the Melons. They're just not quite able to get that one back to Gallium. We've seen it twice now where Tragic sends it up to Tehmill on the backboard, and Tehmill's trying to find Gallium coming in, but he's not getting it far enough away, and Gallium doesn't want to overcommit on that one. But the passing plays, they're starting to come out. They're looking for him. They're looking great. They're just not quite fully capitalizing on those plays, as we're 3 minutes in here. Still 0 apiece in game number 3. The series tied at 1 apiece here. I think this is going to come down to a 1-goal game here, as both defenses have looked solid, as Tehmill's going to throw that one off the backboard. Breakingcoin gets the clear. A demo attempt coming out from the Melons. KSU's going to take his time. He's going to beat one. He's going to look for the double tap. Misses it. Tehmill He likes to flick this one up high, tries to get it over the next defender of Velocity, but he's unable to do so. And we're really just seeing a stalemate here in the midfield.
Yeah, 100%. Like you said, a stalemate in the midfield. Only 4 shots in total so far in this game. And like you said, that 1-goal game is most likely going to happen from what I've seen this game. Both teams have really fortified their defenses and are trying to make this a low-scoring series, and just kind of be the first to make a mistake will be the team that loses here.
Yeah, it's definitely going to come down to a mistake as that one's not cleared away. Right to Gallium, who has a little bit of boost, but not enough to get the dunk at the end, as he had beat 2 defenders and had one left sitting in net, as a big demo is going to come out. Gallium does have boost in the net, but the pass is going to come out to the middle to Breakingcoin, but that one's going to be sent away by Tehmill as we hit the 1-minute mark, and this game is going to remain tied as now Melons trying to get a counterattack. Tragic can't quite follow that one. Breakingcoin, plenty of boost to work with. Slots it by one. Gallium diving back is going to make that save. Gallium's going to take it across his net. Gets 150. Can he get another? No, but he's staying behind the ball. He does pass it across to Tragic. He's going to try to slot that back post, but Velocity is smart. Slow down just enough to be able to get a piece of that one. Final 30 seconds. Tehmill beats one. A little bit of boost in the tank. Gets a small touch. Gallium is there. He's going to back off. Get that touch off the corner wall. Can he get this pass middle? He does, but that one's 50. Tragic having to race up. He can't get that touch, and Velocity is going to find that read and give Velocity the lead very late in this game number 3.
Yeah, we saw Tehmill all the way up in Velocity's half, going for a demo there. Just kind of left Tragic alone as last man, and Velocity really just set himself up phenomenally there and able to hit the double tap, which will really set tempo for the next game, really, as Melon's gonna have to play from behind.
As they have a chance here, this one is floating down in the Velocity defensive end. Can Gallium keep it up? No, he's not. As Tragic, it was just a hair too late, and that ball hits the ground right in front of the nose of his car, trying to keep that one up. Valiant effort here to try to tie this one up with 0 seconds left, but Velocity is going to find themselves in the driver's seat yet again, taking game number 3. And again, the story here is the Melons offense wasn't really able to get past that, midfield point of Velocity. And when these games are low scoring and they can't out pressure this Velocity defense, we're really going to see these low scoring games, and it's going to favor Velocity, as we see here. Velocity able to put up 6 shots, very consistent across the board, but Melons dropping back down to only 5.
Yeah, 100%. Melons kind of took a backseat on that shooting, and we saw it really dwindled as they aren't able to capitalize in that game. But Velocity, they played very well the last 2 minutes of that game. They kept pressure up, and it was hard for Melons to find a clear, and they had to find something late, and the desperation kind of got to them.
Yeah, the longer these games are staying close or in the favor of Velocity, close games, low scoring games, it's going to favor Velocity, just based on how their defense is really hunkered down, and Melons really prey on playing fast and just outbeating teams. But you can't do that if you have a team that's just hunkering down and not giving you those open opportunities to really pick them apart, as we do see a couple misses coming out from Velocity, but that one's going to get dunked back down into the Melons end. Tehmill racing back. Plenty of boost to work with. Takes it up over the midfield. Can he get that dunk? He does. Gallium's trying to beat KSU to the wall. He doesn't. Tragic is there, though. He's going to send that one down. Breakingcoin has to get a touch. Tragic. Wide open net off of the bump from Gallium, but that one's going to be put just wide, but Melon's still on the attack here. That one's sent up. Gallium's up early, but that one's going to be saved away by Velocity, as Velocity is now still in the driver's seat looking for another counterattack here. But no, that was a great defensive presence there by Velocity to really withstand that offensive powerhouse of the Melons.
100%. They always Velocity will find one as we finish up that sentence feed. It was an awkward play by Breakingcoin, and KSU gets a pass off it, and they send the house, but they are not able to get to the shooter there. And very, very similar shots, but Velocity just able to find more consistent pressure, a lot more passing, a lot more people committed up to these shots.
Yes, they definitely are capitalizing a little bit more than the Melons have been. We did see a little bit of a triple commit, as you said, and not one of them able to get it on target. But this one is going to go on target now as Tehmill finds it off the backboard to a Gallium racing in, and he's going to slam that one home and tie this game back up.
Yeah, really good play by Tehmill to just keep banging the ball off that corner and then feed out to Gallium, who had one of the freest shots he'll probably see all night. And really good team play that we haven't really seen the last game, but we saw it this game, and we just really need to see more people up here for Melons, as Volksity will get his second goal of this game, Speed.
Yes, and this is how Velocity ended up taking down my Rooks team. Is Velocity back then was savage. He's just really aggressive. We saw him kind of struggle a little bit in game number 1. It didn't hurt him. They were able to take away to win, but we've really seen him come out of his shell here the rest of this series. He's put up quite a few shots and quite a few goals here as Tehmill is trying to slot this one in as KSU's caught with not a lot of boost and he's not able to get back.
Yeah, just kind of an awkward attempt at a pass there by Breakingcoin. He ends up balling Volksity and KSU not a lot back in. Breakingcoin isn't having the greatest game right now, only 42 points, but you got to get Breakingcoin involved. He is a low sell, but he has been getting better consistently as the season's been going on.
He has. He may be a low sell on the sheets, but he has peaked fairly high since then, since, you know, really start playing the game again. But Gallium's going to send this one wide. Still a 2-2 game with half a game to go. Tehmill's up, does get a beat, gets a double tap, but not the direction he was looking for. And this one's just going to be sent away to Gallium, who had plenty of boost to work with, but he's going to send it right back. And now we have a 3v1. Can Tehmill make the save? He does make the first save. This ball's going to get sent back middle. Now Velocity, he doesn't have a lot of boost. Can Gallium beat him? Can he get the angle? No, he can't quite get the angle, but he does get the 50.
Yeah, really good counter attack here from the Melons. Is the 3v1 quickly turned into a 1v1 on the other side with Gallium having way more boost, better positioning, and gets a strong 50 to beat the defenders here in what has felt like Velocity's game. But these quick counterattacks have really changed up the score speed.
It really has. Gallium's 50s have also been a huge, massive boost to this Melons teams. We saw him. I still don't think he's lost a 50 yet, and that one was to give his team the lead here with 2 minutes to go now. Tehmill's going to send this one up off the backboard. KSU doesn't quite make the touch. Tragic is there. He's going to find the shot. Initially gets saved, but I think he ends up getting the dunk here. I'm going to have to watch this replay as, you know, there was a little bit of a smoke screen.
Yeah, the replay doesn't really help, but I saw KSU come out of that smoke, and I believe KSU got the save there, but Tragic, I think, just overpowered him with that shot. KSU wasn't really ready for it, and this Melons team has come to life.
Yeah, it has, and that smoke screen definitely didn't help KSU trying to make that save there. Does get an initial piece of it, but not able to follow through and survive the dunk, as this one's now going to be sent back over the middle to a Breakingcoin. He's going to hit the post. Can Gallium get this touch? He does, and it's just awkward enough for KSU as he's not able to handle that one. And now Tragic sends this one down to the offensive third. Tries to get that pass middle, but that one's going to be sent away by Breakingcoin. Not a lot of boost on the side of Velocity here. Going to get sent away back to Breakingcoin. He's going to send it off the backboard, but KSU wasn't ready. The dunk coming out from Gallium. This one is on target, and Velocity isn't going to get back, and the Melons are starting to run away with this.
100%. They've completely changed this game. They are down 2-1. They've scored 4 straight, and another 50 that Velocity is just not ready for. And Gallium, like you said, those 50s are suffocating Velocity right now.
That is definitely been the story for the Melons, is their 50s and how well they have 50'd the ball and won a lot of these, as Gallium is going to send this one down to the corner. He does have 2 teammates there. A pass back to Gallium, but he's going to get beat. Tehmill is back, full boost. Going to collect this one, send it to the corner. Gets it past one. Can he get it past another? No. Great 50 there coming up from Velocity. A huge demo coming out, and Velocity is going to find the open, easy goal with 50 seconds to go, cutting this lead to only 2.
Yeah, Breakingcoin hasn't really seemed like a lot of, like we were saying, but he is participating there with the demo to really set them up, and really that's a shot you can't miss. And Velocity, don't count them out yet in this game.
No, KSU gets the mid boost, but unable to get the dribble attempt as there's, again, another 50 coming out from the Melons in their favor. Gallium looking to get a 50 of his own now. Doesn't quite happen, but Tehmill is going to pop this up. Let Tragic attack that one. Gallium is there, but first sends it right into Breakingcoin. But a pass coming back to Tehmill, who has plenty of boost. He elects to send it high. That one's going to get sent away by KSU now. Gallium loses his first 50 of the series, I believe, but it's all right because Tragic's there, wasting more time as 15 seconds left. KSU needs to get his team a goal now. Sends that one middle, but no one diving for Velocity as this ball sent away by the Melons. And that is going to do it for game number 4 here as clock hits 0, ball hits the ground, and now this series is tied up 2-2, and it becomes a best of 3 series from here on out.
Yeah, this series could go any way from what I've seen from both these teams. Both these teams' players are all contributing really in in their own ways, right? We've seen a lot of demos. We've seen Tehmill on the Melon side just playing a really solid third. We've seen Volk City also playing third most of the time. He's just been getting a little punished, but what I've seen is both these teams can adjust and really run away with this series.
They certainly can. It's going to come down to who can win this game. I think this is the most pivotal game for this series. 2-2. Winner of this game goes on match point and really puts the pressure on the other team. And with this series being so back and forth, I think it's just going to be so disheartening to the team who loses this one. This ball's going to get sent away, but Tehmill collects it in the midfield. Tragic pushing, gets another 50 to Gallium. Gallium's going to throw this one on, and he's going to find it as it looks like, I don't know if that was Tehmill or Tragic, but running through the net, trying to scare the opposition, and it works.
Tehmill got that big demo on KSU's front post, I believe, and Tehmill has really contributed with these demos, and he's doing whatever he can to will his team to the championship here, Gallium.
He really is. Beautiful shooting coming out from Gallium as they have given themselves the early lead. Tehmill there in the midfield does get a touch. KSU not a lot of boost, but a beautiful 50. He's going to send this one down, but that's going to be just wide. Gallium with not a lot of boost, and KSU steals that one from him as now Tehmill looking to get the 50. Doesn't go in his favor. KSU coming racing in, but he's not able to send that one in front of the net. Now Tragic taking his time, sending this to the corner. Does get 50'd out here by Breakingcoin. Breakingcoin looking to make a touch. He's not going to get it. Gallium comes in. He's not going to get it either as this ball heads to the midfield. KSU with a great 50 in the middle, but Breakingcoin not ready. And I noticed that Breakingcoin wasn't really involved in the action there in game number 4. And they really rely on him, you know, to be kind of the centerpiece of this team. Yes, he may not necessarily get on the stat board, but he's just not being as impactful all around as we're really hoping to see.
100%. He is the secret weapon, I'd say, for this Velocity team. As we talked about his salary not indicating his skill, and he really has shown out. He's gotten an org player of the week as KSU will tie up this game from what I believe was just a solo play here, and just caught him off guard, and Tehmill not able to react in time. And very odd we see a solo play going, as this series has been very team-oriented so far, Gallium.
Yeah, it has been very team-oriented as we do see KSU. He's going to tie this one up with a beautiful little air dribble. Tragic does, you know, dive on that one a little early. Doesn't quite get the read and leaves Tehmill in an awkward spot who he's not able to get there in time as Velocity trying to get their second goal and take the lead back here, but Breaking Coin is going to get outbeat by Gallium, and that was a beautiful touch by Gallium, coming back, hitting that off of his own backboard. But the dunk coming out from KSU, a double commit now coming out from the Melons, but Tragic's there in the corner off of Velocity's touch. He's going to send this one down, give his team a little bit of a breathing room. Tragic chasing them down, not letting them take their time and get set up. Now Tehmill's going to send this one off the backboard. He has Gallium behind him. He hits it off the backboard again, but Gallium's going to get demoed, and that's going to open up this counter attack here from Velocity, as now Tehmill taking his time, hits it to the corner, does get it past one. Breaking Coin's up early. He does get it past another, but KSU's there. He's going to pop this. He likes to come back down with it. Does get one defender to bite. He catches it. Can he get the dunk off Tehmill? No, he cannot. And Tehmill, beautiful save there as he keeps his team tied with 2 minutes to go in this game number 5.
Yeah, KSU has gone for a lot of solo plays. He has been beating one and almost beats two there, but Tehmill just been really solid defensively all series long. And KSU, if he sets himself up for more, it might be dangerous. You might want to shut that down if you're Melons, but we've seen a lot of impact I saw from Breaking Coin. We saw a demo come out defensively to make sure the shooter didn't go in, so he has been stepping up more, like we said.
He has, but it's not going to matter right now as Gallium sends us off the corner. KSU with a rare miss. He doesn't have a lot of boost, and Gallium's going to slot that one into the back corner, finding its way in, giving them the lead with 1:30 left.
Yeah, what a shot from Gallium. Great placement. Really good step up when, like I said, you need to see Gallium here if you're a Melons fan. Gallium is the key player, I would say, for their side. And he has really stepped up and taken control of this series.
Yeah, this is Breaking Coin trying to send this one down, but that one's going to be sent away by Tragic. Tragic trying to get the 50 in the offensive third. Doesn't quite get it, but he's just really harassing this Velocity defense, not allowing them to get solid touches, as this one's going to go off the backboard. Tragic's up, but he's going to send that one backwards right over to a Velocity, who tries to send this one down to Breaking Coin. Doesn't get there initially, but does end up finding it. But the defense coming out from the Melons, Tragic saving another goal that for sure I thought was going in.
Yeah, 100%. That was a great attack. We saw two players floating, and Tragic somehow able to get back.
I don't know how he got back. There was a little bit of a double commit. I thought it might, hurt them in the end as two of them went diving, but the save was so beautiful coming out from Tragic that not only was he racing back, he makes a great touch with it as well. And Velocity wasn't able to do anything with that second opportunity, as this one's floating in front of their net. They have 8 seconds to make something happen. Who but KSU on the ball, but he's going to get dunked early by Tragic. Flexity's going to miss the ball. Tragic just trying to send this one across the galley, maybe find one more for the road, but no, this ball is going to stay up. KSU gets under it, has a little bit of boost to work with, does flip it up over two. That ball is floating on the net, but no, there's not enough time, and the ball hits the ground about, I don't know, few inches away from the goal line here, Chunk. And Melons are going to take this pivotal game 5 and put themselves on match point.
Yeah, we saw a big step up there from Tragic defensively, just shutting down the desperation attacks from Velocity late in that game, and it's gotta be very disheartening if you're Velocity here, as Velocity will take their timeout in this very close series so far. So you gotta take the timeout when you're on match point. I feel like when you're down 3-2, because we've seen the efficiency of the timeout to get that game, and if they do get that game from that timeout, it will force the game 7.
Yeah, it will. And, we do see teams have success coming out from after taking a timeout, regardless of where in the series they take it, as Velocity elects to take it here. All these games have been super, super close throughout the series. There's only been one where the Melons really ran away with it. But other than that, they've been 1-2 goal games here, as Melons squeak out yet another nail biter. A lot of the times, too, we're seeing teams score fairly late into the game with less than 30 seconds left, and really putting on that pressure from the other team, forcing them to try to make something happen with a little bit of time.
Yeah, 100%. It is so hard to, especially low back in this, uh, low down in prospect and novice especially. It is hard to back out. It is hard to make these like heroics happen at 0 and low seconds. Is it just puts so much pressure on your back, especially mentally.
Mentally, it is super draining to try to come back and score, 0-second goals or last second goals. I mean, we've seen it a few times. We did see, I believe it was Velocity. They did put one in with a little bit of time left and did have a slight chance to try to tie it up with 0 seconds, but they were unable to do so earlier in this series. As now we are getting ready from this server reset real quick to get both teams back in here. Again, Melons up 3-2 in this series on match point, looking to upset yet another team in this postseason.
Yeah, the record and seed they got really didn't show how this team has developed here, especially in this postseason. They have come together at the correct time to make this championship run, and we've really seen the every player play a role in this. We've seen Gallium being that intense scorer, the big 50s coming out from him. We've seen Tehmill being really solid defensively all series, and we've seen Tragic doing everything in between. We've seen him defend crucial things. We've seen him set up passing plays, and we've just seen a lot of from the Melons, and it's Velocity's time to really answer what they have put up.
Yeah, Velocity, it's win or go home. Can they force a game seven, or will their season end here in game number 6 as the kickoff is underway? Demo coming up from Tehmill. Ball sent into the end of Velocity, but Breaking Coin gets a great touch out. He passes this one middle, but that one's going to be dunked and sent away by Gallium. KSU now full boost, and we're seeing the Melons get very aggressive here as now all three of them beat, but KSU not the greatest pinch middle as that one's going to go a little high. No one from Velocity able to get to that right away. Velocity does get another pass middle. Gallium's there, meets him. Can he get a follow-up touch? He does. He sends it up. No one there for Velocity yet. Tragic's there. Not a lot of boost. Tries to send this one on. Does get the follow-up touch. Sends it a little wide as KSU gets the first beat. Now going to send this one middle to a Gallium with full boost. He elects to send that one to the corner. He's going to pass this one middle. Breaking Coin sitting in net. And we're just kind of seeing, Melons bang this one down, get one passing attempt, and just someone's there for Velocity, and they're just sending it right back away.
Yeah, we've also seen a lot of demos coming out from the side of Melons here. As Tragic, I believe, is the second highest demo we're in Prospect League. So we know he does it, but we've seen a lot from Tehmill just trying to really open up. As Gallium, who else would score on Melons besides Gallium?
And not only who else would score, but who else would score such a tight and tough shot angle? A defender with his hand right in your face, but Gallium. Gallium's done that all season, all series long. We've seen him put up some very tough shots, very tight angles, and yet he just keeps finding a way to put him into the back of the net. As Melons again up early in this game, they're up in this series, they're on match point. They just need to find a way for the last 3.5 minutes to hold down their defense and not let Velocity find a way in, as they're going to send that one off the backboard. But Gallium's going to play it smart, take his time. He does get dunked here, though. That one's off the backboard. He's not quite able to find his way. KSU, plenty of boost, going to send this one off the backboard. He can't get the double touch, but Velocity is there, and he's going to slot that one in past the Melons third man. And now this game is tied up with 3 minutes left.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of setups from both Breaking and KSU trying to set up Volksity, who has really been the defining striker for them in the series, and they've gotten a lot of good looks, but they'll finally find one that connects. And we do see a pause come through as they may have some issues. And allegedly KSU has crashed. I know he plays on console, so it will happen here and there, but going forward, we've seen a lot better, um, a lot more pressure, a lot more passing plays from Velocity going into this first 2 minutes of the game, and
Yeah,
it's just
as
yeah. Go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say, yeah, velocity's starting to look really good. We saw a lot of solo plays coming out. We still see a little bit of solo plays coming out from KSU, but if there's one player on that velocity team that can get away with solo plays, beat a couple defenders, and make it way easier for their teammates to score, that is KSU. You kind of have to allow him to go for those every once in a while. He's not just going for solo plays though. He's had quite a few, passing plays. He's looking for it. The whole team is really starting to get on board with those passing plays as we have restarted from the kickoff. We are 1-1 still with 3 minutes to go. Breaking Coin gets a 50 in the corner. Now he's looking for the bump. That one's going to be dangerous as KSU comes roaring in, but he's unable to find that one in the top corner as now this ball is going to get sent away. Breaking Coin and Velocity, not a lot of boost. Gallium just sending this one down, allowing his team to recuperate a little bit of pressure. He's going to get the small touch, pick up their corner boost as his two teammates are back. Does get dunked in the midfield. Who's going to be the first one to that ball? Gallium is not the greatest touch. Leaves a rebound. KSU's going to take that one to the wall. Sends it up off the backboard. Breaking Coin is there, but so is Tehmill. Double commit coming out again from Velocity, and that's a little dangerous as we're seeing they're double committing, but they're double committing with not a lot of boost chunk.
Yeah, 100% left KSU in a really sticky pickle if he if they add something threatening, but really good to not get punished, especially so deep into this game, tie it up. I know it will be demoralizing for them if they do get scored on.
As Gallium looking to get his own backboard touch, but unable to put that one on net, as we have seen him score those tough, tight shots and angles all series long. Is now Breaking Coin, plenty of boost, but he's going to get demoed. Gallium just racing around the field like a madman right now. Tragic is going to float this one up and on. Another demo coming out from the Melons. This one sent up. Gallium likes to take his time. He knows they have the momentum and they have the boost advantage here, but he's going to get beat. Does bump him off though. Gives Tragic plenty of time to work with. This one's sent straight down. Gallium's up, gets a touch. Breaking Coin's there. He's going to send it off the backboard. Can Tehmill get a great clear? Yes, he can. This one's going to go all the way down, and that's going to be the clear that the Melons needed. They're going to reset here. They have plenty of boost. KSU looking for the ground pinch. Doesn't quite get the full ground pinch that he was hoping for, as now this one's sent back to the midfield. Tehmill catches that one. Gets dunked instantly from Breaking Coin. Breaking Coin with another beautiful dunk. Sends it out middle to KSU, but he doesn't have a lot of boost to work and handled that one well. The touch from Velocity is not going to be the greatest as this one's just bouncing in the midfield. But again, Gallium not there, playing it smart, doesn't want to get countered attacked. And we've seen him do that quite often in this series.
Yeah, really smart play by Gallium. He knows they will be getting their chances later in this game, and it would be extremely risky to go for it. Just playing it cautious and really making it so they don't get punished for their mistakes. Just incredibly smart from Gallium, and you do gotta be careful though, as we've seen some of these attacks be lethal, and you might not get a lot more opportunities going in this game.
No, you might not, as we have 5 seconds. Tragic accidentally gets a touch past his third man. This could be dangerous as the clock has hit 0. Gallium trying to send this one away. He does find some grass out there as game number 6, Melons up 3-2 in the series, and we have overtime, Chunk.
Yeah, it's win or go home here for Velocity. If you win this game for Melons, you are in that championship against the Blackhawks. You gotta know what you're playing for. You gotta want it more. You gotta, especially play. You gotta perform when you need it the most, Gallium.
Yeah, you do, as this ball is floating in front of the Melons net, and Velocity is going to find the overtime goal. They're going to force a game 7 here with a date to the championship on the line.
And we do see the timeout come. We'll see if that also gets the game for Melons here. But if you're Melons, you are not too discouraged by that loss here, because it was a very close game. It could have gone either way, but that passing play that we saw at the end, really reminiscent of what we saw all game long. And if you're Melons, you gotta find a way to stop those or interrupt them at least.
Yeah, and They're not super tricky passing plays either. Velocity, they're just being really smart with where they're passing the ball off the backboard or, just wide of the net. They're being very strategic about it. They're not forcing shots. Instead, they're electing to just beat a defender who's diving in, put it wide, and knowing that they're going to have another teammate behind them to have an opportunity to try to have a better shooting look. And they're capitalizing on that. Melons haven't quite figured out what they're doing with that yet. They're trying to really still be super aggressive and dive early on some of these attempts. And that's when they're really starting to get beat on those passing plays.
Yeah, we've also seen just insane aggressiveness from Volksity on the side of Velocity. He has just been pre-jumping, pre-dunking everything. We've seen a lot of that from Velocity, and if you're Melons, you might take it slow and kind of make them overcommit, as that you can easily get punished for doing that if the other team plays patient.
Yeah, they can. They battled back. They have forced their game number 7. They have trying to move on to this grand finals to have a date with Blackhawks, who just took down the number 1 seed Origin right before this match. Now, all the marbles on the line for both these teams. I'm going to ask you now, Chunk. I know your original prediction. You had it going to 7. You had Velocity taking it. Is that still what you're rocking with now that we are in this game 7?
I don't know, Sweet. This has gotta feel like a 50-50 to me, especially with Melons being able to take that timeout, being able to really reset the momentum that Velocity had the late from that last game, and I think that I'm going to switch up and say Melons are gonna take this one. They're gonna adjust. We saw that timeout, and we know how good Gallium is at really inspiring his team, and I got Melons taking this last one.
I think I have to agree with you. I know I had the Melons, but I had them in 6. We're in game 7 now. I still have the Melons, especially like you just said, Gallium having his timeout in his back pocket to use it right before game number 7. I talked about his mental. I talked about his, really good speeches that he's prepared to give. And I think he just gave probably the best one of his season right there heading into this game number 7 as Gallium gets it past 1. Plenty of boost to work with. Gets the demo, not able to get to 50, but that demo relieves that pressure that Velocity would have been able to put on. Tehmill gets it past 1. Tragic looking to make a bump. KSU, not a lot of boost, but Gallium doesn't know that, so he plays it smart, backs off, goes up, gets 50'd in the corner. Can Tehmill get the read? He does get the read. He's going to send it off the backboard. He gets another touch. Can he get another one? He can't right away, but he's going to get a big dunk and send it off the backboard, but Velocity is there, and now he gets the beat on Gallium. 2 members back for Melons. He pops it up high. Breakingcoin's rushing in. He gets dunked out as a triple commit. Comes out from the side of Melons, but it doesn't matter because they get the ball cleared. As the first minute of play, we've seen both teams have a little bit of a look, but nothing too dangerous here, Chunk.
Yeah, 100%. The triple commit really went unpunished. We saw a bump play that I thought for sure was going to connect from Tragic, but this didn't really end up finding a good shot. But we've seen a very defensive game so far, as only one shot apiece from both teams.
Yeah, one shot. Both teams know what's on the line. They know defense is what wins championships. If you don't let the other team score, then you're in the driver's seat. As Tragic sends this one to the corner. Can he get the double touch? No, but he does steal the boost. He does pick up a bump on the third man. He's looking for another bump. He does pick up a demo. Gallium with not a lot of boost just sends this one to the sidewall, but Velocity is there. He's going to send it up off the backboard. A whiff comes out from Tragic. Tehmill does beat one. This one's high. This net is open. Can Tragic put this one in? He does, and he gives the Melons the lead here with 3 minutes to go in game number 7.
Yeah, big players make big plays when it's most important. Tragic, not a lot, but Volk City just caught out there, tries to rush the touch, and just will be punished, as that goal will be one of the freest and disheartening if you're Velocity, but you've got to bounce back mentally. But Melon's got a lot of momentum now going. You've got to shut down these attacks.
They They do have to shut down the attacks, but what they have to be worried about is the Melons just locking it down, but it's not going to matter because they find a bump, and that bump was so crucial. Velexity gets the bump on the third man, giving just enough space for Breakingcoin to send that one right over his head. Melons not able to save this one, and a quick response coming out here from Velocity.
Yeah, 100%. That's gotta feel good. Kind of relieving that pressure that you're down one and you gotta score eventually. But if you're if you're Volksity, we saw him step up shooting all series long, and we saw him get that bump there and kind of showing that he can do anything. And like I said earlier, big players make big plays, especially in the biggest moments.
They do, as that's one of those plays that you don't get in the stat category necessarily, but that is generally what your teammates consider assist, is when you get a big dunk like that, though. And KSU gonna get that dunk. Doesn't need a bump coming out from a teammate on the goal line, and Velocity is going to take the lead in game number 7 and now have 2 unanswered goals with a 1-goal lead.
Speed, I might have to open my eyes. Do you know who we beat on that 50? It was Gallium.
That Gallium? The
Yeah.
Gallium, who had lost maybe 150 all series long.
Oh, it was a quick shot. Really, really good shot there, but not able to find the net. But yeah, Gallium just not able to find the 50. And those goals that you might call lucky, they're bound to happen here in big games eventually, but you've got to bounce back from them if you're Melons.
Yeah, bounce back, but I believe they do have it in them. We've seen them play tough all season long, all series long, matter of fact, as Gallium, the man, the myth, the legend, Gallium with the solo play, putting the team on his back here in game number 7, as he comes out with a huge goal in clutch time here to tie this one up with a minute and a half to go.
That was disgusting. It stuck to his car so well, and just able to counterattack so fast and catch Velocity off guard. And you really, it's gone both ways. Like we said, Speed, this is anyone's game, and it is pretty much 0-0.
It is all tied up. I think the next goal is going to be the seal of fate, as Tehmill's trying to get this one. No, he's not able to, but Gallium's there. A little bit of an overcommit there on Tragic's end, but it's not going to hurt him as Tehmill races back. Full boost. He does send that one, though, and that one's going to be sent downfield by KSU. He doesn't have a lot of boost to work with, but Melons don't know that. Tehmill trying to just get the 50, just enough to send that one wide. Tehmill sends this one down. Tragic with a great touch as it lands right under him, as this one's going to get sent down. The net is open. Can Gallium get there? He does, but he's going to get 50 by Breakingcoin. Final 40 seconds remaining here. Both teams want it, but they can't overcommit too much. They don't want any mistakes to happen. They do not want to give the other team a reason to score, as Gallium, not a lot of boost, does send this one. He's going to send this one on, and KSU isn't quite ready for that little touch, and Gallium is going to give the Melons the lead with only 23 seconds remaining.
Yeah, what a hit from Gallium. What that is a shot that defines this series here if you're a Melons. Just really good pressure, not a lot of boost on the side of Velocity, and you are you are on your final breath here if you're Velocity. You need to find a goal, and quickly.
As a beautiful shot coming out from the Melons, trying to save this one and just give no doubt that they're going to win this one, but that one's sent away. The ball is in the end of Velocity. Can they keep it up? They get it up downfield, but that one's not high enough. They're unable to track that one down, and your Melons are going to take this one in 7, and they have a date in the grand finals with the Blackhawks.
Yeah, really good performance from both teams. You can't be upset if you're either team here. And we saw Gallium step up so much in that final game where they needed him, and I think that's got to be your MVP if you're Melons and you are looking to him to lead you through this Blackhawks team in the final.
Gallium steps up in game number 7. Mr. Clutch himself had a beautiful solo play, and then with the pre-flip with no boost, able to beat KSU for that eventual game winner And, if your velocity had a beautiful run this season, super unfortunate that you ran into this Melon squad in the semifinals and your season is now over. But what else can you ask for, Chunk? Going to game 7 in a semifinal matchup.
Yeah, 100%. That is all you can wish for if you lost, because you lost, but you proved that you can hang with potentially a championship team, especially if Melons end up taking it here. But you shown through thick and thin that you had a great season. You got like 12 wins or so. But all these teams had a lot of wins going into this, and you gotta feel good if you're on both these team sides.
Yeah, definitely Prospect, one of the most toughest leagues heading into the postseason, but we are running a little bit behind on schedule, Chunk. So I'm going to cut that one there. GG's to the Melons, GG's to Velocity, and we are going to take a short little break here, and we are going to be back with yet another banger of a semifinals matchup, and we will see you in just a few minutes.